If you know me, you know I like skins. Skins make the difference between a bad dinosaur and a badass dinosaur. So these are my favorite skins for all dinosaurs and other creatures in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Hello and thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope I have some skin combos to show you that you hadn't tried out yourself yet and that you end up really liking, but be sure to comment your own favorite skins down below for everyone else to check out. We are starting with the Acrocanthosaurus because I will be going through these alphabetically. That'll make it a little bit easier for you to find specific species that you are interested in terms of skin suggestions, or you just want to see if we have the same picks. Now for the Acrocanthosaurus, my picks are probably going to be surprising to you because I didn't go with any of the super colorful skins. I really like Death Valley with lithobates. I love just how quote-unquote natural it looks, while still being really interesting with all of the color variations, the pattern, the emo eye makeup. I'm a fan for all of it. The other option for the Acrocanthosaurus that I particularly like is Great Sandy Desert, also with lithobates. Lithobates just gives a good pattern, and I really love Great Sandy Desert because it's this combination of this really warm toned tan on the underbelly with the gray on top. It's a color combo you're gonna see more often in my list. For Albertosaurus, I think this camo-esque skin effect of Salar del Huasco with Chalcorana is really cool, and my second pick would be Sonoran Desert with Poporana. It's this brown and blue that I think combines really well. Sometimes you don't even need pattern, and that's something you're gonna see more often in my list because some of these skin colors are just fantastic on their own, and the first example of that is the mangrove forest skin for the Allosaurus. It's so colorful already, and I freaking love it. The other option I have for the Allosaurus is Salar del Huasco. Green is one of my favorite colors for the dinosaurs in combination with Rana. It's kind of a muted green. The pattern on top of it is quite understated, but I just like how this looks. I think it would blend really well into an exhibit, and you're gonna see more green dinosaurs on my list, but fret not, some colorful options as well. Most of the sauropods have been cursed with really bad skins, and the Amargasaurus didn't necessarily escape that. What I've chosen here is Svalbard with Pulcrana. It does something, I guess. The skins just aren't particularly exciting. That being said, the skins aren't awful, I would say. It's just one of those dinosaurs where the skin doesn't really matter to me. The dinosaur itself does all of the heavy lifting, but I only have one skin pick for the Amargasaurus for that reason. The next dinosaur on the list, which is also just very bad for picking good skins, is the Ankylosaurus, and my favorite skin for that is Bumpy, because it's so colorful, it's a unique character, I think she looks cute, but also the Anky skin just aren't great. The sauropod curse continues with Apatosaurus. I went with Mangrove Forest and Pulcrana, so at least we have like this little bluish tone to our Apato, and the pattern along the spine is okay. It just really, like, it's such a big canvas to work with, right? And I'm pretty sure I just fat-shamed an Apatosaurus, but it's a pretty sizable canvas that we have to work with here, and it's really shameful that the pattern doesn't do much with it, but I do prefer this one out of all the skins. Archaeornithomimus, another green pick for me. Champlain Valley with Poporana. I think this is an interesting green skin because it combines the more muted tone of the body color with the vibrant green of the pattern. But the one I think I like even more is Svalbard with Rana. Much like the sauropods, the marine reptiles don't have particularly fantastic skins, but for the Attenborosaurus, I think Mangrove Forest with Chalcorana looks really pretty. The Chalcorana pattern, what that does is adds these yellow stripes along the body. What I like about Mangrove Forest is the red tone of it still translates once you put it in the murky lagoon water, but that murky lagoon water does, I think, ruin most of the skins. The other one I really like for Attenborosaurus is Champlain Valley, still with Chalcorana. I think this looks pretty cool, and whenever I look at this, I think to myself, oh my god, if only this was a skin for the Brachiosaurus with those, like, dotted lines going up the neck. That would be so gorgeous. I'm probably gonna upset some folks by not picking either Limbo, Grim, or Chaos for my favorite skins for the Baryonyx, but here I'm just going for what I think is prettiest, and my first pick is Champlain Valley with Paparana. Now I know that most people, whenever they're going to make a Baryonyx, they're going to make one of those three characters, but I have one more skin suggestion that I think you should really check out if you haven't puzzled this one together for yourself yet. And that is this one, which is Svalbard with Pulcrana. This is sort of like the blue effect, but on a Baryonyx with this lightning-like scraggly stripe along the flank that just really contrasts well with the dark body. I think this is a super cool skin, and just, you know, give Grim, Chaos, and Limbo a break from time to time and choose some other berries. She's beauty, she's grace, but when it comes to skins, she's probably last place. Brachiosaurus, love this dinosaur, second favorite dinosaur IRL, but the skins are just meh. I went with a blank pattern because honestly, for pretty much all of the skins, the blank pattern just makes it worse, just makes it uglier in my opinion. And I went with the skin color of Killian Mountains because at least we have, you know, we have an albino Brachie, so it's, well, she's visible from space essentially, and I think that's another fat joke aimed towards my sauropods. I'm sorry. But I think this looks pretty cool. It stands out in an exhibit. Finally, a sauropod that is not done a disservice by its skins, the Camarasaurus. It's not my favorite sauropod for sure, but the skins help a lot. I went with like this minty Camarasaurus, which is Gambia River Basin with Pelophylax, but the other one I really like is Amazon Rainforest with Rana. That is such a pretty color combo and very reminiscent of the, I think it's the jungle pattern from the first game. Now you can see that I don't have all of the skins yet, because if you know me, you know how I feel about challenge mode. I hate it. But let me know in a comment down below if I'm missing out on some truly fantastic skins that are worth challenge mode. I checked them out as much as I could from other people and I don't think it's worth it, but prove me wrong. For Carcharodontosaurus, I want to show you two skins that I think you can combine really well and pretend that it's sexual dimorphism going on. Because even though the two skins I will be showing you are very different, they do match very well. So the first one is Svalbard with lithobates, and the second one I want to show you is Killian Mountains with lithobates. So you can see that the color palette is very similar, but the change in the skin color does make a lot of difference, and I think they match really well. Carnotaurus has been blessed with many fantastic skins, all of which, in my opinion, involving the Rana pattern. Honestly, the Rana pattern makes any of the skin colors fantastic. I went with Great Sandy Desert, but look at this. It's all so great. But the other one I want to show you is this one right here, Mangrove Forest, that you might not think to pick, but I think it's really cool with this purpley and green combo. The first of our flying reptiles, and I will say the flying reptiles are a bit of a hit and miss when it comes to the skins. I do quite like this right here, which is reminiscent of what I did with the Archaeornithomimus, which is sort of a muted green in combination with a more bright neon, almost neon green. I think this looks pretty cool. The other one I have for the Cearadactylus is, let me check this, Champlain Valley with lithobates, so we have a combination of green and orange, and I think the pattern on the wings stands out really well, and I think that's what makes this skin pretty exciting to me. In my opinion, Ceratosaurus has only one truly fantastic skin, the one I always go for, and it's not this one, it's not the movie accurate skin. It's this one right here. It is the Galaxy Ceratosaurus. Honestly, I love this so much. But just like Carnotaurus, the Rana pattern does a lot of good for all of the skin colors that the Ceratosaurus has. Once you stray away from Rana, it does not get better, so I'm not even gonna bother. I'm always gonna have Rana. Look at the fiery awesomeness on the frill of this Chasmosaurus. I really love this combination of the orange and the gray. I think it looks super cool. We have some very subtle purple going on here, but definitely not what I was necessarily going for. The other one I want to show you is Killian Mountains with Pulcrana. There you go. So we get the red frill with the white body, but honestly, hold on, which one did I have? Which one did I have? Oh, I remember. This one with, what was it, Chalkorana. That is my ultimate favorite for the Chasmosaurus. Chungkingosaurus is secretly, not so secretly, one of my favorite dinosaurs in the game because it's so cute. And I love this skin, Champlain Valley with Chalkorana. Coelophysis has some really awesome skins. My problem with it is that the pattern stands out so much and it's so recognizable that when you mix them up in terms of the colors, you do really get that sense of, oh yeah, it's just a swap of color palettes. So for Coelophysis, I just prefer to not randomize the skins and actually pick ones that I really like. The ones I picked to show you here, some of my favorites, Limpopo River with Rana, and the other one, Death Valley with Chalkorana. Look at him bouncing along. I love him so much, just skipping off to murder people. Isn't he cute? And I think he looks cutest with Amazon Rainforest and Rana. Corythosaurus is a bit of a challenge for me because I'm not particularly a fan of this dinosaur, and I'm not really a big fan of the skins either. This mustard skin is kind of interesting though, and speaking of interesting, what I also want to show you, kind of an unusual combo, not this, is Svalbard with Pulkrana. Wait, yes? Yes. I mean, it's different, right? Oh no, wait, hold on, Svalbard, there you go. I was like, wait, this doesn't look like my reference image. Oh man. Oh, by the way, little insert here. This is the third time I'm recording this video, so you think I would have like the technical side of it down pat, but no. I'm still messing up. But I am recording this for the third time because I had audio issues both the first and the second time I recorded this. So, I don't know, can I get a like for the effort at the very least? I would really appreciate that. Crichtonsaurus is so cute that maybe it doesn't really need great skins, and that's a good thing too because it doesn't have any great skins. But I do love this mangrove forest with just a blank pattern. Cryolophosaurus looks fantastic with Great Sandy Desert and Pelophylax, so we get that combination of the purple with the brown, almost orange toned. But the other one I really like is Killian Mountains with Chalkorana, so we get these bright blue splotches on the body, the yellow crest, and it just looks really icy, which I think is appropriate. Not many people are a fan of this tadpole dinosaur, but honestly, just pretend that they threw maybe a little bit too much of frog DNA into the mix here when they created the Deinonychus, and just pretend that it's not really a Deinonychus, and I think that makes it way better to swallow. What also makes it way better, in my opinion, are the skins. It has some great skins, and one of them is this one right here, which is Yukon River with lithobates, and the other option I'm going to show you is almost like a negative image version of this one. So we're gonna switch it to Killian Mountains with Pelophylax, and I think that also looks so nice. Interestingly, when they revealed the Dilophosaurus 2022 skin to include in the Dominion Biosyn expansion, I was like, why? It looks pretty much the same as what we already have, but no, it's very different, and it is my ultimate favorite skin for the Dilophosaurus, and I don't think I'll be using much of the older skins. Dimetrodon has fantastic skins, so super colorful. I want to see him run for just a little bit because that just makes me happy. Come on, that's adorable. Anyway, my first pick is just Amazon Rainforest without a pattern, but the other one I really like is Killian Mountains with Rana, so we get this combination of brown, gray, white, and this super vibrant orange. Dimorphodon looks best eating your face off with a combination of mangrove forest and lithobates. I'm gonna pause it right there so you can see just how vibrant that yellow and orange is on the wings in combination with the green turquoise-esque body. This is a color like, I've recorded this video 3 times already at this point, right? Well, 2.5 at this point. I know that this color combo is recurring on my list, but it's like a classic, you know, the teal and orange. I think movie directors in the 2000s were a big fan of it as well for good reason. I think it looks fantastic. Diplodocus, I'm sad to say, probably has the worst skins of the sauropods. Yes, even worse than the Brachiosaurus. I went with this sort of faded green combo over here. She looks so dry. She looks like she needs a little bit of moisturizer. I don't know what's going on here. The pattern is semi-interesting. It's like interesting adjacent. The color is meh. But we still love you. We still love you. Don't worry about it. Alright, Dracorax, here we go. Gambia River Basin with blank pattern. It's just really funny to me that a lot of my dinosaur picks have like these super natural brown greenish tones, and then once in a while I pick a skin that is just... It's essentially a character in Guardians of the Galaxy. I think we can agree on that, but I think it looks absolutely fantastic. No pattern required. Now, I do have a green skin pick for this one as well. Let me find a Salar-del Huasco with lithobates. Yes, it's green, but it's super, super vibrant, and I think that makes it really good. Like, you can still see it. Look at that. Looks so, so good. Dreadnoughtus hasn't been the same for me since the Dominion Biosin expansion, and that is a positive, because I think this skin, the Dreadnoughtus 2022, it changes the entire model for the better, and I don't think I'll use the older model anymore. She's gotten an upgrade. Dryosaurus has great skins, and many of them. The pattern color really changes a lot depending on which pattern you choose and in combination with which skin tone. So I think that makes for a really nice mix. So for this dinosaur, I would personally just recommend that you randomize the skins. But I really like Yukon River with lithobates and Sonoran Desert with Pulchrana. Here we have another teal and orange creature. This is Sungrypterus with Amazon Rainforest and Chalcorana. The other option, which is almost like an inverse, we have like this reddish tone with blue, and that's Death Valley with Pulchrana. Really love how that crest looks. A long time ago, I actually did a series on the channel in Jurassic World Evolution 1, which I called Skin Deep, and one of those videos was picking my all-time favorite skins in that game, and the Apatosaurus was my #1 pick. I absolutely love this skin, and honestly, I still want to see this exact skin on other dinosaurs, like, for example, a big theropod. Like, just imagine having a colorful face on a theropod and then this beautiful striping pattern down the tail. I think that's so excellent. This isn't exactly the default coloring. I changed the skin color to Sonoran Desert because I think this color is a little bit nicer. The other option that I have, let me check it for a second. Limpopo River. I mean, come on, this already looks so good, but the one I want to show you is with the Pelophylax. So we have this bright yellow face. It's a face only a mother can love, but I hope that the skins that I'll show you is something you can love as well, as do I. I think, again, a combination of teal and orange just works really well. It's also bright enough that it still translates relatively well once you put it into the water. What works even better in the water if you choose the Gambia with Rana, because it's just so vibrant. Look at this adorable Euoplocephalus, made to look even better with Gambia River Basin and Paparana. The other one I want to show you is Svalbard with lithobates, so we get these nice blue stripes in between the plates here, and I think that looks super cool. For Gallimimus, I have a more subdued color palette, I guess you could say, but still with a very noticeable and standout pattern. So this is Great Sandy Desert with Pulchrana. My other pick is Yukon River with Chalcorana. I love this combination of the burnt orange, reddish brown, and these yellow stripes, which I think look best on the Yukon River skin. But you can see how they look on the different skin colors. You can see how, how faded it is on Killian Mountain, so that's why I personally went with Yukon River. When in doubt, make it teal and orange. I have nothing to say for myself. Much like Dilophosaurus and Dreadnoughtus, the introduction of the 2022 skin for the Giganotosaurus just completely changed how I approach having this dinosaur in my parks. Look, you either love this model or you hate it. Personally, I love it. Yes, it looks very much like a monster. It is not scientifically accurate, but I like it. I'm personally a big fan of it, and I don't consider myself ever really going back to the old model. Gigantospinosaurus had a really cool, also kind of galaxy-esque skin in the first game, and this is kind of an approximation of that with Mangrove Forest and Pulchrana. The other one I really like for Gigantospinosaurus is this one right here, because this dark green is so vibrant and nice that I absolutely love it. Herrerasaurus is a tough one for me. I love this dinosaur, but all of the pattern colors, if you want some contrast, it looks, the pattern just looks a little bit diseased when you have a lot of contrast going on like you do over here. That being said, I do like the look of this, but with the purpose of it looking kind of diseased and wrong, you know, if that's kind of the look you're going for. If I want to make it look more natural, I go for this combination right here, which is more a camo-esque skin type. Homalocephaly looks a little dry, a little ashy, kind of like the Diplodocus, but I do like this skin right here. The pattern is super, super subtle, which might not be your personal pick, but I really like it. This is Yukon River with Pulcrana. The other one I have is Sonoran Desert with Paparana for, you know, obvious reasons. I don't need to say it anymore. Huayangosaurus is weirdly a deluxe edition dinosaur. I don't know why. It's cute and all, but it should have just been in the base game. The skins are, they're okay. This is Yukon River with Rana, which I kind of like, but I have made the ultimate discovery for the Huayangosaurus. I think this skin, when I was playing around and I found this, I was like, oh yes. Look at this! Is it just me? This looks super, super cool. It reminds me of a lot of the skin color that the Changzhousaurus has going on, but that looks fantastic in my opinion. And this is Killian Mountains with Paparan. If you haven't tried out this combination yet for yourself, I hadn't. Dang, this looks good. Truly, for Ichthyosaurus, I just recommend that you randomize the skins so you get a nice bit of variation. I want to highlight two that I think are particularly nice. Killian Mountains with Chalcorana and Boom Mangrove Forest with Blank Pattern. Iguanodon has pretty fantastic skins. This one truly reminds me of Aladar from Disney's Dinosaur. I would personally enhance it with this pattern right here, so Pulcron on top of Amazon Rainforest. So it's a little less Aladar-esque and it just has a lot more visual interest going on. The other skin that I really, really like is just Yukon River with Pulcrana. For the Indominus Rex, I'm gonna cheat on my own rules. I sort of set out to pick only 2 skins per dinosaur, but I want to show you 3 for the Indominus Rex. Now, this one is probably my personal favorite. I'm not necessarily sure why. I'm just a really big fan of these black stripes and just the color overall. The other one I think is pretty dang cool is Amazon Rainforest with Paparana, because it has like a million shades of green going on. You know what, maybe this is my favorite. I am so indecisive, but this looks pretty cool. So like it had a paint bucket accident on the face over there. What I wanted to highlight, in case you aren't a huge fan of the hybrids, as I'm personally not either, if you want to have it like look a little bit more natural and more dinosaur-esque as opposed to monster-esque, I think you should play around with just blank pattern and making it this Champlain Valley green. So it's just a more natural color. I think it takes away a little bit of the monster-esque nature of it. Indoraptor has a great line of fantastic skins, but none as great as Mangrove Forest with Blank Pattern. I love how much color is going on over here. Look how the nails bounce as it walks. That's kind of cool. The other skin pattern I want to show is Sonoran Desert with, not that, Paparana. It's like a variation on teal and orange, but I just like the natural brown with the unnatural blue stripe. This is so heckin' cursed, but I had to show it to you. You've probably already seen this yourself at some point. Look at them cheeks! You just want to pinch them cheeks, don't you? And the mouth is cursed, and the tail spikes are cursed. It's just awful. Let me do that. Let me bring him back into the natural world. So this is the Pear skin. I think the skin is really nice and detailed, but what I particularly love about this skin is how you can combine it with the regular Cantrosaurus, which is much much smaller in its regular model. So this is the pear skin, a big fan of that. The other one I want to show you is Amazon rainforest. Oh yeah, no, I already have it with Chalkorana. And the reason for that is this looks like an old school dinosaur toy to me. Like the reddish brown in combination with the bright green just screams dinosaur toy. And for some reason, I'm down with it. I like it. Carnotaurus is one of the few marine reptiles that got truly lucky with its skin selection. For a colorful option, I like Amazon rainforest with Pelophylax. And of course, if you wanna just throw it to that classic walking with dinosaurs like Pleurodon skin, you could do Yukon River with Paparana, or even get rid of the pattern like that. Speaking of like Pleurodon, it doesn't have great skins. Like the color on this pattern is kind of interesting, but when you start mixing it with the skin colors, I just can't find a way to make it look good. This at least, you know, has sort of my favorite combination of teal and orange, so I'll go with that, I guess. But honestly, I feel like you should just go for one of the blank skins like that. Really lean into its crocodilian look. For Cearadactylus, my first pick is just really, really red, and my second pick is Mangrove Forest with Pulcrana. Because, well, you know. Maiasaur is another one of those dinosaurs that I just didn't really know what to do with. I went with Yukon River and Pulcrana. I do like the white face because it looks very skull-esque. And we have the gray in combination with the orange, which I think is pretty much always a good bet. Now for the next dinosaur, like Maiasaur isn't my favorite herbivore ever. The next dinosaur, alphabetically, the Majungasaurus, is one of my least favorite dinosaurs in the game. That is until I made this skin discovery. And it changed my entire perspective on the Majungasaurus. So first we have Limpopo River with Paparana. Look at that. She's on freaking fire. Like, this skin is legitimately lit. I absolutely love this. We have the little bit of turquoise on the face over there, but it's mostly about all that jazz. I love it. This Limpopo River, but the other one that's really good. Let me check. Yukon River. So we have the like the concrete gray. I think this looks absolutely fantastic, and seeing these skins made me much more inclined to use Majungasaurus in my parks, so prepare to be seeing this dinosaur more often henceforth popping up in my creative park builds, which I hope you'll join, and if you want to join those, of course, don't forget to subscribe. Mamenchisaurus, it's okay. It's nothing to write home about, but it's okay. Gambia River Basin with Pelophylax. Really like the tone of these blue splotches. The other one I like for Mamenchi is Mangrove Forest with Paparana. So we have that red and green combo going on. This looks really nice. Here we have another skin that doesn't need a pattern, Gambia River Basin for the Megalosaurus. The other skin I really like is Mangrove Forest with the Rana pattern? No, this doesn't look right. No, this doesn't look right. I'm just secretly showing you all the patterns because they're kind of good. But I think this is my favorite pattern in combination with the Mangrove Forest. Metricanthosaurus, honestly, with the Rana pattern, it all looks good. I feel like it all looks almost equally good. I guess I'd go with Champlain Valley right here. What I also want to show you is this one, the Chalkorana pattern. So cool. Again, sort of that classic 90s dinosaur toy aesthetic in my opinion, but I think this looks really cool. And again, it combines pretty well with all of the skin colors. So if you're gonna use this dinosaur, I personally would just say make a batch with Chalkorana pattern, randomize the skins, and make a batch with Rana pattern and just randomize the skins. I think that would look really nice. Minmi just looking super bright and cute with Amazon Rainforest and Rana. But what I like even more is Death Valley with Pelophylax. Again, we have the gray with the warm toned color on the underbelly, and the Pelophylax adds these dark brown stripes along the body. Dilophosaurus has amazing, mind-blowing skins. It's pretty much all good, again, especially when you choose the Rana pattern. This is Sophie's choice if Sophie had 12 children to choose between. I can't choose. I mean, I'd gravitate towards this one, but then when you just start mixing it up, it's all good. I'm gonna cheat. I have nothing to say for this dinosaur. I have nothing to say. I do want to add Paparana with Sonoran Desert as like a non-Rana based skin combo. I love these skins so much. I'm legitimately just playing around. This looks good too. It all looks good, okay? Dilophosaurus is pretty much all great. What's not all great is Mosasaurus skins. It's a good thing that this creature is just awesome in and of itself because the skins are just so bad. They are so bad. I went with Mangroforce and Chalgrana because it's like, well, at least there's something going on the tail. It's so... Look, when you go for a Mosasaurus, you go for the Mosasaurus. You don't necessarily pick a skin. It doesn't matter. For Albertosaurus, I basically just recreated my favorite skins from Jurassic World Evolution 1. So the first one is Mangroforce with Pulchrana, and the other one is Gambia River Basin with Pulchrana, and this is like the classic jungle Albertosaurus. The Pseudoceratops has some pretty good skins to choose from. I really like this Mangroforce with Paparana, and the other one I want to highlight is Great Sandy Desert with Pelophylax. Look at this. That beautiful blue on the frill looks so good. Nitrosaurus sort of escaped the sauropod curse. Like maybe it just ducked under. Maybe it was just too short to get cursed. Because it has some pretty interesting skins. Like there's not a ton of vibrant colors going on here, but the pattern is just really interesting and it adds a lot of depth and detail to the skin. So this is Salar del Huasco with Pulchrana. The other one that is truly fantastic. Look at it. It is amazing. You know, it's the classic Evo skin color combo over there. This is my skin as well. When I have cold feet, this is what the feet look like. Wait, this is getting out of hand. Anyway, third time recording this video, okay? Third time. This is Gambia River Basin with Pulchrana. It just looks chef's kiss. Nodosaurus has awful skins, and I just want to move on because it's making me sad. The skins on the Allura Titan make me much happier. This is Sonoran Desert with Chalcarata. It looks a little more understated, I suppose, but thanks to the pattern, there's still plenty going on. I really love going just sort of dark with the body and then combining it with Paparana so you get that neon crest going on, which I think is gorgeous. But Allura Titan has many great combos to choose from. These are just two that I wanted to highlight. If you have the Camp Cretaceous DLC, the small Tyrannosaurus is really great to have because it's so fun to combine it with the normal Jurassic World Evolution 2 Tyrannosaurus and see and use that size difference as part of your own narrative. Like this could, if you squint, function as a juvenile version of the Tyrannosaurus, and you can sort of pretend that, you know, the sail is skinny because it requires fat deposits to build up the bulk, and that just takes a while for it to, you know, consume a lot of food for that to happen. So you could combine the small Camp Cretaceous Tyrannosaurus with pretty much any of the regular Tyrannosaurus. The skin I want to show is Limpopo River with Rana right here because I really like that pattern that it has going on, and I just think it's fun to combine the two. The same with the Kentrosaurus, where you have Pierce, which is much larger, combine that with a smaller regular Kentrosaurus as its juvenile. Pachycephalosaurus in Amazon rainforest with Rana looks great, and the other one I really like is Gambia River Basin without a pattern, so you just have this red demon Pachycephalosaurus. This is my favorite skin for the Pachyrhinosaurus, and it's the Pelophylax pattern on Limpopo River. Let's get her moving so we can see the frill a little bit better. And I think that looks pretty cool with the stripes along the body. The other one I want to show is way more subdued, and it's Svalbard with Pulchrana right here, but you do get a really good contrast. For Parasaurolophus, I feel like the Lux patterns are just a no-brainer because look at the magic that happens right here. For me, the thing is, I almost exclusively play Sandbox, and I typically have the Sandbox time of day just set to day. And in daytime, it looks like this, which is, oh god, which is okay, but it's not fantastic. So what I like doing for my Parasaurolophus is actually going for Limpopo River with Pulchrana, because this is, I feel, where the magic in the daytime happens. For Pentaceratops, again, the gray and orange combo of Death Valley with Rana. Rana, it makes no sense. Like, yeah, there's a teeny tiny bit of blue around this orange, but Rana should just be orange in this case, because that's what's happening right now. The other skin is Slardel Huasco with, hold on, there you go, Lithobate. So we get this super bright popping yellow on this green foresty body. For Plesiosaurus, we're just gonna ignore the patterns because they're stupid. Like, what is this? Come on, it just looks like some scabs that it has going on. So we're just gonna ignore the pattern. And then this red skin mangrove forest is pretty cool and it shows up pretty well underwater as well. The other one I really like is Amazon rainforest. When you combine them, it's like a Christmas lagoon. I think this skin for the Polacanthus is pretty cool. Typically, the Ankylosaurus and Nodosaurus in the game don't have great skins, in my opinion. But this looks really fun with the pattern on the body there. This is Killian Mountains with lithobates. Ceratosaurus pretty much exclusively has fantastic skin, so just randomize it and watch the magic happen. Honestly, I love all of these. I want to highlight Sonoran Desert with Pelophylax and keeping the Pelophylax but switching out the skin color for Death Valley. This is probably my all-time favorite, but honestly, you can mix and match this in any way and it's good. Like, that's super fun with the orange, but here with the darkest stripe and the purple, it's all good. Even though it's super low res and it just looks wrong and kind of pathetic, I'm not a fan of the Jurassic World model for the Pteranodon, so I'll always default to the 2001 Pteranodon. I just prefer this model. I hope that they'll update the skin texture a little bit maybe down the line. A dinosaur that has been blessed with many great skins is the new Pyroraptor from the Dominion Biosyn expansion. I think for this dinosaur, tastes are really varied. People are gonna have some very different looking favorites. I really like Gambia River Basin with lithobates, this super neon pop of color, and I just like this overall feather color. Look how shiny it is, it's amazing. The other one that I really like is Sonoran Desert with Pauperana. So good. We have the orange and blue sort of going on. But honestly, come on, it's so good. This one's cool too. I can't, guys. I can't. It's all fantastic. Look at that. This is really cool if you want them to look more quote-unquote natural. It's all good. I can't... I've recorded this 3 times and I still can't decide what is this. If you've seen my ranking of my favorite dinosaurs in the game, then you'll know that the Chungkingosaurus is very surprisingly my #1 pick, and a lot of that has to do with the skins. I mean, let's not pretend that the total dragon-esque face doesn't have anything to do with it. Let's not pretend that the name Pinocchio Rex has nothing to do with that. But a large part of it comes down to the awesome skins. And Gambia River Basin with Pauperana is one of those awesome skins. The other one I really like is Amazon Rainforest. This also looks great, but Amazon Rainforest with Pelophylax. So cool. For Quetzalcoatlus, I like Great Sandy Desert with Rana and Gambia River Basin with Pauperana. Fly, you fool. Sauropelta doesn't have pretty skins, but it does have an interesting skin. I think this is interesting, and that's all I'll say about it. Controversially, I'm not a big fan of the Scorpios Rex, but I know that it is very popular in the community. What I really want to show you is 2 skins that I feel like would combine really well, sort of like similar with the Carcharodontosaurus many hours ago. So this is Slardel Huasco with Pelophylax, which is a dark green with orange, and then you can combine that with a Champlain Valley and Lithobates, which is a light green with yellow. I think you could either go for sexual dimorphism, or you could also say that this one is maybe slightly younger and the colors still have to darken. Something like that. I always like coming up with stories behind that. And I feel like the skins do make a big difference for how much I like this creature. Or rather, that I dislike it less. Look at this super fun skin for the Sinoceratops Mangrove Forest with lithobates. It's cute. Show us your face, darling. There you go. Don't be shy about it. You're adorable. The other one I think is really good is Limpopo River with Pulcrana. Disappointingly, I don't like a lot of the Spinosaurus skins, but I guess you don't really need to like a lot of the Spinosaurus skins when it has one that is as good as Sonoran Desert with Rana. Stegosaurus is my favorite dinosaur IRL, so I was happy to see that it has some pretty good skins in the game. This one's pretty interesting and pretty different, so I wanted to show you that. Svalbard with Lithobates, but my all-time favorite skin for the Stego is Amazon Rainforest with Paparana. I just think it looks so fun. You can get super colorful with the Struthiomimus, so if you like that sort of look for your park, I can definitely recommend it. And then I'd like Gambia River Basin with Lithobates. A more subdued version is Killian Mountains with Lithobates. The Sticky Moloch skins are very textured and there's a lot going on in them, which I really, really like. So just Gambia River Basin on its own looks pretty cool. I also really like Mangrove Forest with Rana. So we have like this super red menace of a dinosaur. Styracosaurus also looks great in the Gambia River Basin in combination with Rana. For Suchomimus, I went again with a skin that pretty much just harkens back to Jurassic World Evolution 1. So this is Yukon River with Paparana. I'm not the biggest fan of the other skins that are going on for the Suchomimus. The pattern is a bit meh. What's interesting is, when you look at it from a distance, you think there's a lot of bright teal going on here, right? But when you zoom in, it just sort of, like, see when you zoom out really far, it gets really intense? But when you zoom in, it just becomes super underwhelming. For the Tapejara, just mix and match, just randomize, you can't go wrong. But I do particularly like Svalbard with Chalgarana and a mangrove forest with Pelophylax. Look at it. Amazing. Let's see it in flight. Oh yeah. After much deliberation, I came to the surprising conclusion that my favorite skin for the Therizinosaurus is the 2022 skin. So that's like a clean victory for the 2022 skins, if I recall correctly. No, that's wrong. No, for Dimetrodon and Pyroraptor, I chose different skins. But yeah, even though the other skins for the Therizinosaurus are great, for some reason they're not clicking with me as much as this is. Maybe just because I love it so much in the movie. For Torosaurus, I really like Limpopo River with Pulcrana, and I think it'll work well in combination with a Triceratops with Salar del Huasco and Pulcrana. If I recall correctly, the Torosaurus in the game is smaller than the Triceratops, so I think it could work as a juvenile, even though I think IRL it's the reverse, as is the current scientific thesis. Troodon has such cool and venomous looking skins that I really feel like, even though it's not a it doesn't mimic the colors of the Troodon in Jurassic Park the game, I do feel like this venomous look, as it appears to me at least, is sort of a nod to that. We have Gambia River Basin with Pelophylax, which I think looks really cool. Honestly, Pelophylax just does the heavy lifting here. And Mangrove Forest with Pelophylax. Mwah, so good. Tropiognathus or Ornithochirus for the Walking with Dinosaur fans among us. I just went with Killian Mountains and Chalgarana. Chalgarana just does something really interesting on the beak there in combination with this albino-esque body. Syntosaurus, definitely not one of my favorite dinosaur, not one of my favorite hadrosaurs either, but this Pelophylax crest color is doing a lot for it. I think this looks pretty nice. This color combo of Gambia River Basin with Paparana just makes the Tylosaurus look like a Disney villain in my mind, and I think that's a good fit for the mean face that it's constantly making. T-Rex, another dinosaur that hasn't been the same since the Dominion Biosyn expansion. My two picks would be the 65 million years ago skin and the Rexy 2022 skin. Quite an understated skin, not a lot going on in terms of like bright, vibrant colors and big patterns, but it's just so detailed and amazing looking that I can't not pick it. Also, it's the Rexy. Velociraptor didn't have great original skins in the first Jurassic World Evolution, and unfortunately that carried through into Jurassic World Evolution 2. Luckily though, we have the good movie skins right off the bat. My favorite is the 2001 Sorna Raptor, the female version, so 2001B from Jurassic Park 3. From the Lost World Jurassic Park, I like this one, 1997A, so the male Tiger Raptor. Look at him digging, it's so cute. If you don't have the early Cretaceous DLC, I do recommend that you get it. You get some really cool dinosaurs and creatures in it. My favorite from that pack is this one right here, the last one alphabetically, the Huerhosaurus. It has some really good skins, a lot of color and pattern going on in it. It's just such a cute dinosaur. My first pick would be Great Sandy Desert with Pelophylax, but the other one that is really good looking is Amazon Rainforest with Paparana right here. And that concludes my list of all of my favorite skins per species. I do hope that you enjoyed this video and that you found some interesting skin combos that you hadn't found for yourself yet that you will be introducing into your parks. If you want to see me use these dinosaurs in my park builds, then please subscribe to the channel and join me next time. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, God, I hope the audio is finally good with this one. Enjoy the game.